Spider-Man, Spider-Man does whatever. Okay, sorry guys. Time to get into the review for Spider-Man Far From Home. Hey everyone, it's Jeremy from Legacy Comics, and today I will be giving you my review of Spider-Man Far From Home. Let's start off with some good stuff. Overall, the characters and actors that played those characters did a very good job. Tom Holland, like normal, did a very good job as Spider-Man. I mean, he's been doing it for a long time now, ever since Civil War, and he's gotten pretty good at it. Jake Gyllenhaal, who played Mysterio in this movie, did a very good job with that, as he does with most other movies. Zendaya played Mary Jane and was very convincing. I mean, not my normal Mary Jane look, but it worked. And then Ned, and the guy who played Ned, I can't remember his name, but he did a very good job just being that kind of quirky friend and having fun throughout the movie. As well as the rest of the characters, they fit their roles pretty well too. Aren't that many complaints that I have over the characters throughout the movie, and yeah, good job with the characters and actors. This movie gave a very necessary bridge between Infinity War, Endgame, and now this movie. As we knew in Endgame, Hulk snapped and it brought everyone back. This fact of Hulk bringing everyone back plays into some very funny dialogue throughout the movie and kind of gives you an idea of what life was like during Infinity War into Endgame and even past that little stage of the MCU. Overall, it was really funny to hear some of these pieces of dialogue and some of these scenes where this really affected the characters and just the overall tone of the movie itself. The comedic tone kept the movie alive, as well as the action. The action in this movie was really cool, and we saw some unique things that we don't normally see. Sure, we have Spider Man swinging from building to building, but he's in Europe, and there's a bunch of landmarks there and things that he kind of had to maneuver around and figure out how to do things differently there compared to New York with all the big skyscrapers. And it was really cool with just all those landmarks and some of the destruction and some of the other epic scenes that we see in the movie come to life. Yeah, I just enjoyed the action in this movie as well. Also, the CGI in this film was phenomenal, as are most of the MCU films. They do a very good job and budget out very well. Of course, there were a couple of shots here and there that were a little bit janky, but other than those couple shots, the movie was very well put together as far as CGI and graphics and, just special effects in general. So let's talk about the mixed stuff and the bad stuff. The mixed stuff, like I said earlier, the jokes throughout the movie are very good, but then every once in a while you come across a joke or just a scene that takes you out of your seat and just doesn't fit. And those ones happened every once in a while, and to be honest, they got kind of annoying, but at the same time, they weren't excessive. Another thing that some people might not like is the fact that Spider Man is continually becoming more technology based, even though Spider Man himself in the comics is less technology based. Anyways, that might not be that big of a problem for you, but I know some people who that was a very large problem for. The villain situation was unique, and I really liked the way that they portrayed the characters, but at the same time, there was definitely a motivation issue. Also, in the movie, there were some pacing issues that kind of threw off certain scenes, but I enjoyed it. Next thing you might want to know about just the internal conflict that Peter has to go through throughout the movie. It can drag on a little bit, but for the most part, it's pretty good, and that's why it's in the mix section. Now, let's talk about the problems with this movie. There's a lot of things I can spoil with talking about the problems, and I'm going to try my hardest not to, so I'm going to take some detours along the way. There is this plot device that plays a very pivotal part into the movie, and the instructions and steps taken with said plot device don't make a ton of sense and cause some problems with me as a viewer throughout the film. Another problem I had with the movie is rather than a usual Spider-Man comic book or even like the Sam Raimi films. There's not a lot of stakes in this movie, and it's very self-contained, which that might not be a problem for some people, but the film kind of felt empty without those stakes. And that's probably my biggest problem throughout the film. And other than that, other than some janky CGI and some dumb one-liners, the movie did a pretty good job with everything else. Overall, I would give this movie an 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed it, and just looking back, there is some parts that have problems, but those problems don't totally ruin the film for me. Sure, they can be a disappointment, but at the same time, I enjoyed the film nonetheless. Hey, tell me what your thoughts are about the movie. And make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure to turn on those notifications so you don't miss out on the next time I post a video. Also, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to share it with your friends, and that helps out the channel a lot. This is Jeremy from Legacy Comics, signing out. See ya!